Hey guys, welcome back to a new video, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to code with HTML. Now, why learn HTML? It's because it's the most commonly used language for developing websites. Like, you need it in order to develop a website. And there will always be a need for coders, so it's just like one of those things you could learn. So the first thing we need to know is what these are. These are called tags. Whenever you have one thing with an opening and closing bracket, this is called a tag, as you can see. And by the way, I am using Sublime Text Editor version 3 for my programming, so if you want to use that with me, you can use that. So let's get into what a tag is. Basically, a tag is something that holds the stuff that comes out on the screen. As you can see, this is my website that I developed with HTML, and it is not very well done compared to a normal website, because this is only from me. But as you can see, there's a login you can do. There's just a lot of stuff that you can do on this website. So I'm going to be teaching you basically how to get to this point where you could develop a website basically and be able to create buttons and all of that kind of stuff. So the first thing we need to do is create a thing called a skeleton. It's basically what you need to do in order to start off a website. So let me show you what you have to do. You have to type in this. I'll teach you what this is after. You type in that, HTML, head, body, closing body, closing head, and closing HTML. You're probably wondering what this is. This is the basic of a website in order to have anything be displayed. This is very good to memorize. Now let's start up here. This right here tells the browser that all of this stuff right here is HTML. Because if you were just to go like this, the browser might still interpret it as HTML, but it might not use the right version or something like that. So basically what this does is when you type in closing bracket, opening bracket, exclamation point, all caps, doc, type, HTML, closing bracket, you're basically saying I'm going to input HTML here. Now, when you want to save an HTML file, you click on File, Save As. Say we want to put it in our desktop. Let's save it as lesson.html. You have to make sure that this part right here says .html and that this is on all files. It's at the very top. Then click Save. Now you can see that it is all red now because it knows that now this is HTML. So let's get into this tag. This is basically the opening HTML tag. Everything within here and here is the HTML. And I actually made a mistake. This head is supposed to be up here. So what this head is, it's basically like the header. So what the head does is, see up here it says website made with HTML. What you do to that is you actually have to input a tag inside the head section. It's basically everything from here up. And also, well, this is used for a thing called a style sheet, which we'll get into later. And now let's get to the last one, the body tag. This is everything that is from basically here and down. This is where basically all of your main HTML is. And you're probably wondering, why do we have these weird things with slashes? This is basically saying it's called the closing tag. So this is where the HTML tag opens, and this is where it closes. So that means that it tells the browser everything in between is the HTML, and it just goes on for every single tag. So now that you know what all these tags mean, let's see what it looks like in our browser. So let's open up the new file that just came out, and as you can see, it's just a plain website. There's no special things, it's just a plain website. There's nothing really special about it. Now I'm going to actually go like this and make it so that you could see the website when we do this. So let's go like right here. So here's our website. Let's say you want to add a title, which is basically what this says up here. You're going to go to the head section because it's above here, You're going to type in title, and now that you have this Sublime text and you have this as HTML, all I have to do is click the closing tab, like the slash, and it inputs it for me because it knows that since there's an opening here, it needs to close. So all you have to do is type in slash and it will input that for you. Now let's say we want the title to be "This is a test." All I have to do is put it in between here, and I like to put it this way, but you also can do it like this. And it's kind of easier to read sometimes, but also it gets a lot of lines in your text. So I like to do it this way. Then what you want to do is you have to go File, Save, or you can just do Control S, which is what I'm going to do, and click Refresh. As you can see, it says "This is a test" in the top. So this is going to be this video. This is basically teaching you what you have to do in order to start out a web page. Also, I'm going to be uploading the code from every single lesson into my GitHub, which I'll have a link down below. So if you want to like copy this, if you don't want to type this out every time, you could just go there and download it. Because when I learned HTML, I would have to copy down like just from seeing it over here, then typing it down, and it took me a really long time in order to do that. So I'm just gonna make it easier for you guys. You could just go over to my GitHub. I will have all of this stuff downloadable.